What's your problem, bro? We're trying to have a good time. Nope. Who the hell are you? What the hell? Come on! We got to go to the circus.
What is going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We have for the good reels. You don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brit Man's right over there. 2022 is coming to an end, so it's time to recap the year that was 2022. Got a few different recap videos we have coming out over the next couple weeks, but this one is one I'm probably most excited about. We are tearing it up tonight on this Thursday. We're doing, I wouldn't say all the horror movies from 2022, but definitely most of the big ones, right? We're going to be doing a lot of the ones that we both saw, and maybe some on the side as well, going through the list, putting them in these tiers at the end of this year. Birdie, are you excited to talk about some of these new flicks tonight?
Dude, man, I am so excited. First off, I'm excited because I think I finally figured out this whole connectivity issues that we've been having during some of these live streams and even our recordings on my end. So I'm excited that we finally fixed that. But I'm also sad that we are ending 2022. It has been a very incredible year for us. And not only for us, Good Real Hunting, but also for just in movies in general, especially in the horror genre. I feel like they have nailed a lot of these very good horror movies, and we're going to freaking tear them up for what we think using our custom tier ranking scale that me and Brad had came up with. And we're excited to see your guys' kind of like how would you all tear it up, because in the description down below we do have a link if you want to fill one out.
Yes, and you know what? 2022 was a great year for horror flicks, man. Let's be real. Cutting to the chase, all the way back in January, Scream 5 came out, kicked us off with the right direction. And then we come out, we get X, man, coming out of nowhere in March, and then Pearl after that. And then all these other movies that kind of came out of nowhere, man, that popped up. There were some surprises. Hulu coming in strong with a couple straight to stream, actually 3 strong straight to stream horror flicks, man. And yeah, just all around a surprising year. It's tough. Luckily, this isn't a ranking yet. We don't have to worry about that. But yeah,
Thank
man,
God.
anytime you're trying to compare these movies, man, there's a lot of good ones to talk about.
Oh, dude, there's just so many of them. So if you do not see one that like you feel like we should have talked about, like I put a pinned comment in the comic section, let us know some of the horror movies that you enjoyed this year in 2022. If there's one that we missed out on, let us know too, because you might never know. We might not have heard of it, and we'll definitely add it on the watch list.
For sure, man. We try to get a good chunk of them, man. I think most of these we both saw. There's probably a couple in there that maybe one of us saw. I know I never got around seeing Nope, for example. So, Brett, if you want to put that in your tier somewhere, you more than welcome to do that.
There's one movie in particular.
Yeah, there's never a chance I got to see that. Just been busy and everything. But man, we got a good list, man. I'm excited, and I think it's gonna be a fun way to celebrate the year. And man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be challenging.
Hell yeah, man. So let me say hello to the chat. We'll just freaking go ahead and dive on in there. So we got Lamontre, what's going on there? We got Yo Adrian, how you doing? Don't know who those asshats are. Gory Tiger, what's going on? Rosie, how are you doing? Here is your roast, my dear. And then we got Brother Fluff. What's going on there, Brother Fluff? And yeah, that's who we all and we got the Sound Painter Studio. What's going on, my friend?
Hello and welcome to all, man. We're gonna have some fun tonight, and we might even call up on the audience to help us tier some of these sons of bitches. Sometimes me and Burt, man, have different opinions, and I think I know at least one movie we're gonna be on.
I better go ahead and get my studio up.
Yeah, dude, get your studio up.
Yeah, man, I gotta start showing you the studio too, just so you know how I'm doing all these polls and stuff. So just in case if I got hit by a boat or something, that you know how to run this channel.
Yeah, well, I would really hope you don't get hit by a boat of all things. But I guess if you did, it's because Jason's out there and he's shooting bows through people's head, boats, and you're out there with your top off. swimming
Yeah,
in the
hey,
lake.
I'll do it. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it right now. We got kids watching. Speaking of kids, we got Chad in the freaking chat stirring up some shit like he normally does. But what's going on there, Chad? And we're hopefully to see you Tuesday, which we'll let you know what that's all about here coming up towards the end of the show. We got a special Christmas stream that we're planning on giving to you guys on Tuesday. So stay tuned for more details after we do our tearing it up. And then we got Chris Snyder saying, Fresh better be on here. Maybe.
Dude.
And then we also got Camp Blood Media. Josh, what's going on, my friend? So yeah, just keep on coming, guys. Let us know your thoughts. And if you're watching after the fact, what did you think about our tearing it up list? Do you agree with us, or do you have different opinions than us? Because again, in that description down below, we do have that tearing up link, so you could tear these up for yourself, and you can even share your results with us. We love to hang out and just see your all's tearing it up list. Again, let us know in that comic section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling. Let's say hello to Kyle, and then we'll begin.
Please.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be jealous of Kyle, man. He gets the freaking.
I already know.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, he told me about that, man. I'm so stoked. I don't know, Kyle, I don't know if you've announced anything yet, so I don't want to say anything for sure. I just know what you told me, but it's super exciting. If you have announced it, we'll drop it for you because it's gonna be awesome.
I think he did, but Kyle, just let us know. And Brad, as per usual, you're gonna check out the comic section. You're gonna pull up some awesome comments while I tackle my favorite part of all these streams when we do tearing it up. I get to move the freaking movies around. So okay, go ahead and then we'll start.
My man Kyle here, man. I think it's the 22nd, maybe? Next Thursday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
And Kyle, you can share your link in the description or in the comic section too.
My man Kyle's going to be interviewing freaking Todd McLaughlin, who he directed Jason Lives Part 6, Friday 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, the best Friday the 13th movie, man. So that is epic as a mofo, man. I'm happy for you. And that's going to be a really awesome show, man. Can't wait to check that out, man, because that's, man, dude, he hit all the strides for me in that Friday the 13th franchise.
For you, that is.
And Bert's going to be there to tell him. I'm just kidding.
No, I will
tell him,
absolutely not. Hey, you know what? You probably should be in there and telling them how Jason Lives made the finals of the freaking tournament we had back in October.
You should tell Kyle when you're talking to him, tell him that Britman hates his ass. But
no, I don't.
But no, go jump over to Kyle's channel, Return of the Living Flat. He's right here, man. Check that show out next week. It's going to be epic.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And real quickly, I just forgot about this. This is 2022, so we do have to do our rule. Anything within 5 years, we're going to pull up the spoiler. So this is a spoiler stream of some of these 2022 movies. We'll do our best not to spoil it, but if there's something that we cannot help, just be warned. And I do have a special guest real quick that tells you that we're about to spoil some shit.
No, hang on. Spoiler alert. Okay.
Thank you, Darth Stewie. So, all right, without further ado, let's get started.
Yeah, what do we have up here, man? We got how many movies do we have? You count them out?
We did have 20, but I added one last one just real quickly, just because so I can shit on it.
Okay, good.
All right, so Brad, all right, you know what? You go ahead and go first. You pick a movie, then I'll pick a movie, and we'll just freaking just do it that way.
Well, I'm good just to kind of start. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with Hellraiser. Let's pick Hellraiser.
Okay, so let's freaking do Hellraiser, man. Hulu movie, Hulu exclusive movie of 2022.
Oh,
and
sorry,
yeah,
didn't want to cut you off, Bert, but I haven't gone over the tiers. So let's do that real quick, just so people know.
Thank you. Sorry, I get excited.
So starting at the top, the best of the best, man, is the X Factor. Of course, that's where all the best movies are going, man. That's when the fresh shit is going to be. Right under that, It's an Honor is going to be the second best tier. Right in the middle is a double booked Airbnb. You never know what's going to happen in those situations. It's kind of shitty, but you might meet somebody cool, aka Pennywise. towards the bottom, you're getting breakfast with the grabber. It's not a good situation, but he does put salt and pepper in your egg, so that's pretty decent. And then at the very bottom is a freaking bowl of Art Krispies, man. We don't want that shit around us. You don't want glass or bugs in your breakfast. So yeah, that's at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I particularly put these colors in the reverse order, so I'm not sure why I did a reverse order bag. But you know what? That's okay. You know our custom tier scale. So now are we ready for some Hellraiser?
Yes.
All right, Hellraiser, again, Hulu exclusive from 2022. And man, what a way to welcome back well, I was about to say Mr. Pinhead, but Pinhead this time was played by a female. Is that correct?
It is. Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I was just excited just to what we had just offered something different within the Hellraiser franchise. And man, I liked it. Like, I'm not the biggest Hellraiser fan of just of the franchise in general, but I know how important the Pinhead character is to the horror genre. So I do respect Pinhead. But this movie to me, I do like the kind of like the main character. Hey, Brad, guess what? It's Riley, right? You'll get the joke here in one of our upcoming videos.
Actually, you won't.
Yeah, actually you won't. But hey, you know what? It is what it is, man. I just thought that was funny. But yeah, Riley was a really good character, one you could get behind and can even like relate to. If it's just see her going through all this stuff against Pinhead and all the Cenobites, the Cenobites looked cool as hell too. So I'm going to reward all that for me a double booked Airbnb.
Yeah, dude. I really liked Riley as a character. I thought she was really good. She was, she kind of brought some intensity in there, throughout the role. She wasn't a perfect person, which I like that. I like seeing people that are a little bit more, a little bit more going on than, just being perfect, I guess. That was either way. She was good. I liked it. Pinhead was awesome. It was a really good reintroduction to that character. And obviously putting Pinhead first and foremost, kind of like, in the middle of this whole thing was a good decision as well. Being the main, entity there. And so I thought it was really cool. A lot of good gore in there. I would have liked to seen that movie be a lot more dirty and grimy. Like, I feel like it was a little too polished for what it was, but it was also really enjoyable. And I liked it. It was a nice surprise when they first announced it. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. But then they started, they brought a good director in, to do it, to take the reins. And that got me a little bit excited. Once it came out, I ended up actually really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite Hellraiser movie that I've actually seen.
Nice.
It's up there with the first one anyway. But, compared to a lot of these other movies, man, it's going right in the middle. Double booked Airbnb for me as well.
All right. So we both agree that Hellraiser is a double Airbnb. And man, I wouldn't want Pinhead to be a double Airbnb, if you know what I mean.
It wasn't, and that's not that this movie's bad. It's not like this movie's, I think this is a better than average movie, but when you're stacking it up with these other movies, the tiers, I mean, I think you're going to have a lot of solid movies right here in the middle, and that's a good place for it to be.
Oh man. And just just with all the other Hellraiser movies we had to go through just to get to this one's definitely better than the other ones. Just for me, I'm not the biggest Hellraiser fan.
Yeah, right. But it was cool, man. Sound Painter Studio said, I love that it didn't play it safe with the lore and went deep, man. That was really cool, man. I really dug that.
Oh yeah, and Brad, I agree with you. It definitely could have been like Saw level dirty.
Yeah, it just felt a little clean. Like, it still had some dark stuff to it. It was still a dark movie. The tone was pretty dark, but it just could have been dirtier. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. So Hellraiser right in the middle right there. So it is my turn. And let's go ahead and get this piece of shit out of the way. And Brad, I know you haven't seen this movie yet, so I just hope you just trust my word on this, and the chat does too. It's freaking Bodies. Brad, I texted you and Chris immediately with how pissed off I was at this movie.
Yeah, dude, I remember when you, yeah, that's why I haven't seen it, because I just I don't know, man. I know if you're telling me not to watch it, like, I don't need to watch it.
Oh man, it was so disappointing. I remember being super excited with this one because mainly they were saying this is like the new Scream, but this particular the Gen Z generation. I was like, okay, you're using a big like property in the horror franchise, in the horror like genre, so I had to give it a shot. And man, dude, it was so damn bad. It made me so mad, especially with the third act and the big twist reveal. It's just so stupid. So I'm just going to save everybody the trouble and let me know in the comic section if you harshly disagree. If you like this movie, awesome. But for me, it is a big bowl of freaking R Krispies, man.
Flopbuster came in and said he loves Bodies, 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 man.
Yeah, no, and I saw Tony like that movie. And you know what? More for you, Tony. Just for me, it just did absolutely nothing.
I saw Fauci was in the house a minute ago as well, man. Just wanted to say, hey, he said good, real sexy as mofos.
Which
I
one?
kind of paraphrased. All the reels that are good, sexy.
Yeah, man.
And then Cole's in the
Any
house
comments?
too, man. And yeah, I got Cole's in the house. Hello, buddy, and Mega Cat as well. How's it going?
Go Vols. What's going on there, Cole and Mega Cat? And let's see here. Brad, you're next up.
Let's go ahead and talk about let's do Scream. Let's do Scream.
Oh man, dude, this one's going to be a tough one for. Actually, who am I kidding? It's not going to be tough. Everybody knows me. The original Scream is my top 2 favorite movie of all time. So I was extremely happy and looking forward to Scream 5. And dude, if you're a fan of the original from '96, Scream 5 is pretty much one big nod to the original. It gave so many nods to Wes Craven since his passing. Just gave us fresh characters that we all really can invest and enjoy. Definitely with Jenna Ortega as Tara Carpenter. And I hope she gets a bigger role in Scream 6. So Scream 5, really damn good. And I thought that the legacy characters were definitely handled with care with Sidney Prescott, Courtney, Gail Weathers, and Dewey, which poor Dewey. And then, so I really love this movie. To me, it gets better with every watch. So I'm going to put it at the X Factor.
Ooh, you know what, Birdie? Go ahead and start topping us out a poll. I ain't going that high with this movie. I'm not doing
Alrighty.
it. But I will tell you what, man. I'll put it at It's an Honor, right where it belongs. I think it's not a bad movie by any means. It's really good, really well-made movie. I think it's still one of the better Scream movies in the franchise. But, for whatever reason, I watched it the one time in theaters. I dug it quite a bit. I liked it. Gave it a really good review, and I still stand by that. But then, I watched it again. I wasn't quite as into it. And then the third time, I wasn't quite as into it. And I really haven't had the desire to go back and watch it again. And I know that's going to change, and I'm going to be watching it again before this new one comes out. But it's still, like I said, it's a really solid movie. I think it set the groundwork up to get this franchise rolling again in the right direction. And yeah, they have a lot of good places they can go with it. And by no means is it bad. It's just, I just can't put it at the top with some of the other things that are going to be up there for me.
Alrighty. I got the poll up. And where did you put it, Brad?
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Hey, you know what? That's a proper place to put it.
And while you're getting that poll together, I'm just going to catch up.
Oh, it's already up.
Oh, nice. Well, vote on that. Let us help us determine where Scream should go on this damn tier list. Painter Studio said, this is talking about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Well, it says it in the comment. The trailer / I did it and pulled me in for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Same. I'd never had any desire to see it. And then Bert confirmed that. And then
big time.
Camp Blood said, again, talking about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. He thought it was okay, but he'll never watch it again. And then he came back in later saying Scream should be in the second tier from the top for him.
Yeah, it's an honor. And I did put it up. So my apologies for adding Airbnb and bottom 2. Here, actually, let me end that poll real quick. I messed up on the poll, so my apologies. So we're pretty much doing the top 2.
Yes.
X Factor. Oh, wait a minute. Dang it, man. I'm not doing the Q&A. Let's see here. There we go. Poll. Screen 5. So it's either X Factor or It's an Honor. All right, there we go. Ask freaking vote away. My apologies for mess up on the poll. And we also got Destiny and My Killer Podcast in the chat. What's going on? Destiny, thank you for joining us because I know you're about to hop on the stream soon. So be sure to get your vote in.
Hell yeah, dude. Sound Painter Studios here. Scream is an X Factor. Had plenty of scenes of suspense, and the characters were interesting. There were stakes. I agree. I do like that they did some of the things that they did and the characters they brought in. There were stakes. There were a lot of good things. It was a really good return to the franchise. Very strong.
Oh, dude,
Flamethrower said
so freaking strong.
Flamethrower said they had balls doing a crossover with the Addams Family and Scream.
Oh, wait a minute. Crossover?
Yeah, had Jen Ortega in there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
Wednesday.
Okay. Man, I wish we could freaking put Wednesday on this, but freaking Bratty Boy over here hasn't watched Wednesday yet. So everybody in the chat, please do the hashtag of the night. Hashtag watch Wednesday.
I don't think I'm going to. But you
I
know
think
what?
you
It's just
should.
it's not my thing. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad everybody else did. We're here, Camp Blood Media, man. Did a lot of things that the other Scream movies already did. I liked most. I liked it the most the first time I saw it, and liked it slightly less each time. But still like it. That's how I feel. Exactly the same way, man. Exactly the same way.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting the chat up on my phone so I can follow along like having two screens. And then I saw also Mud Nelson's in the chat. Gavin, what's going on, my friend?
Saying, hey there, guys. Terrifier Type 2 should have its own tier above the X Factor. You're damn straight, dude. Damn straight.
Man. Hell yeah, man. You know what? It's kind of hard to disagree with that. Let me check out the poll here. Let's see here. Where's my poll go? There it is. Brad, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal this vote. 11 votes. It's an honor. 82%.
Okay. That's still very solid placement, man. Chris Snyder's in here, said love Scream, but didn't offer anything new to the table for the franchise. It's like every other Scream movie. I agree. I think this new one is going to be interesting, though. But I love the Scream movie, so I enjoyed it. Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, and we're definitely going to be doing some Scream 6 videos in the early next year too to prepare for Scream 6. So don't worry, guys. All the Scream content is coming next year.
Yes.
Yeesh. All right, so you picked that one. And Brad, I'm just going to go ahead and knock this one out too, since you haven't seen it. And from here on out, is all the ones that you and I have both seen, and that's The Menu. Man, first off, I'm not a big foodie person. My brother's actually a big foodie person, so he knows like all the technical terms and the fanciness when it comes to the like world of food. But man, this movie did make it easy for like a casual person like me to understand it, and also like it made fun of that like world as well. So like it's a dark comedy movie, and I thought they nailed the comedy absolutely for sure. But what really made this movie make me want to go see it is our boy Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult. Just those three actors and an actress alone made me want to go see this movie. And dude, I absolutely love this movie. I even texted you and Chris saying, boys, we might have a new favorite of 2022. However, it's close, but super close, man. So I love The Menu. I think everybody should rent it when it comes out on digital, or buy it on add it to your Blu-ray collection. So I'm going to put it for me at the top. I'll give it an X Factor for me. So Brad, should I do a poll?
If you want to, man, whatever you want. If you want to just slap it, you can, or if you want to pull it, you can do that as well.
Yeah, here. Let me go ahead and just slap it, because I do really think this movie deserves it.
Right on, man. And honestly, I probably wouldn't disagree based on everything that I've seen about it.
Yeah, because Brad, I know that movie would be right up your alley. So,
hey, let's talk about a dumpster fire real quick, man. If I'm picking the next one,
I love dumpster fires.
Let's pick up this damn Texas Chainsaw 2022 bullshit, and let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because I tell you what, man, this thing came out, got a lot of buzz. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was liking it. I was like, man, I'm excited. I ended up watching it the day it came out, and I was really pumped about it. I'm like, dude, we're finally getting a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Hell yeah. It comes out. This is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. Like, not literally. I've seen some bad things, but this was on the list, man. Leatherface was out there in the sunflower field popping up like the dog hunter guy, or the duck hunter guy, every time he gets the duck, the little dog that's out there. Shit was bad, man. Shit was bad as a mofo. And the characters were so unlikable. There was not one single character in there that I liked, except for maybe one of the sisters was pretty decent, but everybody else sucked ass. And then he slays everybody. I thought Leatherface himself kind of sucked. Like, the performance was okay, but the look of Leatherface was not good. I didn't like the new mask at all. I didn't like how goofy he looked. And the worst part of it all is it did not feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. You couldn't feel the atmosphere of Texas. It felt like they were on a soundstage studio because they were, and it didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel real. You couldn't feel that Texas heat, man. You couldn't see the people sweating. You can't do all that stuff, man. It just felt way too polished again for what it should be, something really dirty and grimy and dirty. And that, there's no family in this. The family has always been the star of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, not Leatherface. I know that's what people like to think, but you look at, I think Sheriff Hoyt, aka R. Lee Ermey, was the best part of the remake series, like that, like hands down. And I don't know, man. This one's at the bottom, man. Give me Art Crispies for Texas Chainsaw 2022.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna have to tell you that. And Destiny's asking about what about the hot cowboy?
Get him out of here, dude. Guys sucked ass. They all did. The main girl, like, oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if we did the most annoying characters of 2022. Top of the list.
Oh, it won't beat the girl from Dashcam. I guarantee you that. So that would be that would be a very competitive matchup there. But Brad, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now, you're getting canceled, bro, for what you just said. It's what I would say if I disagree with you, but I 110% agree with you that this movie is not very good at all. Like, it was good to see our boy Leatherface back, but you know what? I take the freaking Georgia leaf blower over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of Leatherface in this one. Man, it was just so disappointing, especially how we handled the return of Sally. Like, for a legacy character, they treated her so damn bad. Like, she had all these years to confront Leatherface, and when she finally does and does her speech, Leatherface just freaking walks away. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, man. We've been waiting for many years, and that's how it's going to go down. Like, man, this movie is just not very good. But I will admit that some of the kills in this movie were pretty cool to watch, and were pretty gnarly. So I'm not necessarily going to give this a bowl of Art Krispies, but I am going to do a breakfast with the Grabbler. Or Grabber.
The okay, let's put it to the polls, man. Let's see what the people think. I actually thought the movie might have more fans, but looking through the chat here, man, Chris Snyder says, get Texas Chainsaw out of here. Destiny watched it at work. Camp Blood said, this is not, it has nothing to do with TCM, but he said, you guys better be putting Jeepers Creepers Reborn and X Factor. In fact, create a new tier above X Factor for it. It's not even on the list. Mud Nelson said, they absolutely ruined the Sally Hardesty character. They made my blood boil. Yeah, absolutely trash. Completely destroyed Sally Hardesty.
Oh yeah,
special agent.
Even though I'm never a fan of the Sally Hardesty final girl anyway. But at least I respect her enough. Like, I know what she has done for some people, like in the horror community. So at least I respect her. But for me, I never liked Sally. But at least I wanted her to have something big in her return after so many years, and they just treated her like trash.
Yeah, she's never going to be anybody's top 10, top 15 final girl, top 20 probably. But, she was the first final girl for all intents and purposes, right up there with Jess from Black Christmas. So she gets some respect.
Jess blows Sally out of the fucking water when it comes to final girls.
Yeah, man. Fuck Gen Z, Chainsaw Massacre from Daniel Bobanner is what he said there. Cole said, I don't think they get OG Leatherface anymore. Absolutely not. They're all over the place. They have not in a long time. Sound Painter.
Mega Cat saying grilled steaks and boiled shrimp. It's on. Like, I don't know. Y'all making me hungry right there. I just had an okay dinner tonight. Like, stop making me hungry.
DoorDashing some damn. It's time for you to DoorDash some damn Red Lobster, man. The Sound Painter Studio said TCM 22 is near the bottom. The kills made me forgive the film only slightly, but the story is very bad and the setting mostly feels out of place. 100%.
And Mud Nelson Gavin says Sally Hardesty is definitely like in his top 10 final girls, the real OG scream queen. I will admit she does scream a lot. And that's it. I don't think she does anything else. But again, that's just my opinion. But Gavin, that's awesome that you have her in your top 10.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I get the respect. I definitely totally respect her for taking that and setting the mold for everybody that followed. I'm just not honestly, I'm not a huge Texas Chainsaw fan to begin with. Like the first movie, I like it okay, but it's not one that I go back and watch that often. And it's nothing on her. It's just I don't know.
And
It's
Josh
probably my
asks,
least favorite.
yeah, and Josh asked, what does the red line next to your comment mean? That means you're canceled, bro. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right, let's check out. Damn it. It's at 50-50 right now. So the next vote will win.
Hell
So
to
if
the
you've
yeah,
not
man.
voted already, get your vote in.
Thoughtbuster's still talking about this one. Bad movie. It's so poorly done. Doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be half the time. Although the closing car bit was hysterical. I actually dug that. Best part of the movie. 100% the best part of the movie.
And let's see. And Aaron Click's in the house. What's going on there, Aaron Click?
Hello and welcome.
All right, just keep an eye out for me with that poll right there if you can. Actually, here, let me scroll up here. For some reason the poll doesn't want to show up. Let me see if I can do it this way. Actually, yeah, here we go. Let me see. Let me unpin. Okay, there we go. We got our winner. Is going to the R Krispies.
Yes, I love it.
And you know what? I have no issues with that. So it could join bodies.
Right where it belongs, man.
So, all right, man. Let's go ahead and keep the hate train rolling here, especially with you, Brad. I definitely want to mention this movie because you got me and Chris so excited to watch this movie, and we were really pissed off afterwards. And that's The Crimes of the Future. And man, I'm glad Chris bought me those freaking 24 ounce Truly as we watched this movie, because if I did not have that son of a bitch to knock off the buzz, I would have fell asleep in that movie. But instead, me and Chris were just looking at each other like, what in the fuck are we watching here? So I will go ahead and just let you know immediately. This one is going to the bowl of our Krispies.
That one for me, it's still a well-made movie. It's not my thing. It is boring. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like a lot going on. But it had some epic effects. Yes, it was Cronenberg gory for sure. Classic Cronenberg effects. A lot of work went into that. It was an interesting story. It was one that was very unique, not one I've ever seen and not one I'm ever going to see again. That's what you're going to get from Cronenberg. It's not something that's been done before. So for that alone, I'm going to bump it up, man. I'm going to take it to Breakfast with the Grabber, man. I think, it's probably not one I'm going to watch. It's probably not one I'm going to watch again, but you know what? It had creativity, and that's more than I can say for Texas Chainsaw and the shit that's going down there at the bottom.
Okay, let's see here. Breakfast Grabber, Art Krispies. All right, there you go, guys. Go ahead and vote away. And I saw Destiny saying, I also need to watch Bodies. Just take your time with it. No need to rush for Bodies. More like, don't watch. But again, that's just me. Disney might have a totally different perspective on the movie, and that would be great. So, but just to me, you don't have to rush on it. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, Camp Blood Media brought up a great point. Robbie loves Crimes of the Future.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's right up Robbie's alley, man. 100%. Sorry,
he loves David Cronenberg.
Yes, that's right up Robbie's alley, and it's up a lot of people's alleys, man. It really is. There's something he's such a creative mind, Cronenberg is, that I think a lot of people really dig it. Obviously, I think the movie The Fly is the one thing that I think of as something that I think he did something that was really good.
Damn right.
But and Aaron Click says at least it was original. Yeah, I mean, again, that's where I give it some points. That's where I give it some credit, because while I wasn't really invested in the story that much, at least it built this world up, and that's more than these other movies can say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, most definitely. And I'm going to let the poll keep going for a little bit here. So, Brad, go ahead and pick with the next one.
Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's talk The Watcher. Let's talk Watcher. Let's get that one up and about. We're saving some of the good ones for later.
Oh yeah, man. Oh
I
yeah,
bet this
that's why
one's
you
bad.
gotta stay around so we can knock off the big ones at the end, man. But no, Brad, I want you to go ahead and go first with this because I had the privilege to see this in theater, and dude, that enhances this particular movie with like the Dolby sound system. But what about you, Fo? What do you think about The Watcher?
I really enjoyed it. I thought Mikey Monroe was really good in the movie. It was good to see her come back for not one but two movies this year. We don't have it on the list, but Significant Other on Paramount is actually really good. I actually think it's better than Watcher. As far as her performance goes and everything, it was really solid. But yeah, she was good in this as well. It was good. It was, really a slow burn. But it was nice because it was realistic. You know what I mean? Like it was something that was a slow burn, and it was like it was very grounded. There wasn't anything too crazy about it, and it's just it's something that happens in real life, and that's it's about being stalked and stuff, and this whole thing about not being believed when you're telling somebody you're being stalked, and all this other stuff going on. So it was really cool, and she to me carried it. Yeah, she really carried it. I don't really remember the other dude all that much. I thought it was really her that stood out. I would put it in the middle. Give me double booked Airbnb.
Oh man. Here, let me go ahead and check the poll because I'm gonna go ahead and let you know we're gonna be voting here. And I'll go ahead and end this one because I love the results of this 2 out of 6 votes. 67% of Art Krispies for Crimes of the Future.
I can't disagree too much, man.
Yeah, that's why I figured like you wouldn't mind the poll ending. Like if it was a different movie, I would have let it gone on a little longer. But man, The Watcher Foe, I'm gonna go ahead and just let you know it's gonna go. It's an honor. Let me go ahead and get the poll going, and I will explain why it needs to go to that spot. And first off, I saw some people in the chat saying that they either loved it or they still need to see it. If you want to watch it, the Shudder app is a Shudder exclusive, so it is on Shudder. So let's see here. It's an honor and Airbnb. All right, there we go. Go ahead and vote away.
I know there's a lot of people that hasn't seen this and Crimes of the Future. I don't really plan on spoiling anything. If I do, I'll give you a spoiler warning. I know Bert's probably the same way.
Darth Stewie already said his piece too. So we're going to be careful. But if there's something we're going to talk about, we will try our best to let you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to. But yeah, go ahead, Bertie. What do you think about it?
Alrighty. Watcher. First off, absolutely love Monroe. I think she is a incredible actress. Like if she's given a really good character and a really good story, like she's going to knock it out the damn park. I feel like she's one of the most underrated actresses out there. Especially with It Follows. That's where I'm pretty sure that's where most of everybody fell in love with her, was with It Follows. And if it wasn't It Follows, it was definitely The Guest. She was very strong in that movie. And then she kind of like took a break, I believe, like with like a horror movies and kind of did like some low level stuff. But bam, what a way to come back with Watcher. Like just the tone and atmosphere of this movie was so tense, and she offers like a good character too, so it's someone you can kind of get behind. And I think you nailed it right on the point, Brad, that this movie is super realistic to a lot of problems in the world. People they feel like they're being watched. It's like an ultimate like being paranoid, as much as like we always feel like somebody's watching us, and this movie really exploits that. So I just freaking love The Watcher, and the third act just to me like does get a little bit too crazy at the end, but it is what it is. But I definitely enjoyed the first and second act of this movie, so for me it's an honor.
Dude, I thought that again, I'm not going to spoil it because I know there's a lot of people who haven't seen it, but I thought the ending was pretty fucking awesome. I love the ending of it. It was
good, but it was like I'm not sure I would have ended it that way.
I dug it, man. But as you can hear, it's a divisive ending, man. It's really cool and interesting what they did. I thought that was kind of what nailed it for me, that stuck the landing. Yeah, again, still definitely a better than average movie. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which is a solid rating.
That's why I think I gave it a low 4 out of 5.
Hell yeah, man.
So check out the comments real quick, and then I'll look at the results of the poll here.
A lot of people talking about it. Destiny said she loved the ending as well. Cole said that needs to see that one. Yeah, you do, bud. Check it out, man. That's a good one. I know they were talking about Significant Other a little bit. Chris and Destiny were. A lot of people, Camp Blood said hadn't seen it. I know Rosie said she hadn't seen it.
And Chris hasn't seen it either. So, guys, on Shudder, go watch Watcher.
Definitely,
Watcher. So.
Definitely worth the watch, man, for sure.
Oh, easily. Like again, man, I had the great time of like going to see it in theaters, and to me that enhances the viewing for me, just because with the Dolby sound, because they do a really good job with the kind of like the sound effects of Watcher. So man, yeah, you guys are going to have a good time with Watcher for sure. And then Desi also brought up that Minka Monroe was in Villains with Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, man. What a duo, man.
Yeah, which I still need to be watch. I've been meaning to watch that movie too.
Yeah, man. Check out Significant Other too.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Brad, I think I'll double check with you. Right now it's 67% with It's an Honor out of 6 votes. Do you want to keep going to see if that'll like be trumped
No,
I'm
not going to fight that.
Honor?
Yeah, I'm not going to fight that. I think it's well deserved.
All right, excellent. I figure so, but I always just want to make sure, like, every movie have like a fair chance. So you picked The Watcher, right?
I did.
All righty. So let's see here, man. Let's go with the monsters, man. Let's have a little fun with this one because everybody had, of course, 50-50 perspective on the monsters, especially with it being a Rob Zombie flick. I had a good time with this movie. I don't feel like it needed to be 2 hours long. That was one of my complaints. This one could have easily been like an hour. I would say hour 20, hour and a half at the most. But man, I could just tell that the cast and crew was having so much fun with this movie, and I definitely like the set design and just like the costumes. But I do agree with some people saying this movie should have been done in black and white. I do agree with that. Doing it in color is definitely a bold move, but I just, in my opinion, don't think Rob Zombie had a choice in the matter. I think it's a studio decision. But at the end of the day, I have fun with this. This is a good movie if you just want to have it on in the background and for the month of October. So for me, I'm going to put it at the Double Book Airbnb.
So yeah, man, I actually think putting in color was great. My favorite thing about this movie was the colors. It's a really colorful and fun movie to watch in that regard. I thought it was done really good, or done really well. Yeah, definitely didn't need to be 2 hours at all. I think it could have been like an hour and 15. I think it could have been a really short movie. There's really not a lot of story here. The characters were fun. Rob Zombie put a lot of heart into it. I mean, you could tell, like, he built this world up and he did a really good job with it, and it has some fun, but it's ultimately at the end of the day, for me, it's going to be going to Breakfast with the Grabber.
And I'm not going to, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to fight that. So I'll join you on that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So I got no objection to that one. So that will go with the Breakfast with the Grabber. As long as you season up the movie just a little bit, like it still has its fun moments.
Yeah.
So. All right, so you're next, Brad. Oh man, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies left. So we're still going at a good pace right now. So Brad, next movie.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the movie that is Men.
Oh, and first off, Metallic, I just saw you in the chat. What's going on there, Metallic? But dude, man, I've been begging for you to watch this movie ever since I saw it, because that whole third act, what the hell was that? So, Brad, please have the explanation for me of what the hell the third act was all about.
This is one again. Alex Garland coming in. I'm a big Alex Garland fan. At least, I don't know if I could say that. I like Ex Machina a lot. Didn't really like Annihilation. I thought it was okay. I should probably rewatch it. I think it has a lot of potential. I need to go back and watch it again. But Ex Machina was fantastic. So I was really looking forward to this. I saw the trailer. I thought it looked really good. And when it came out, we watched it. Again, just like Crimes of the Future, except maybe even more so. This is a really well-made movie. Some great cinematography throughout. Some brilliant cinematography. Really, a great character. I forgot her name off the top of my head, but the movie that the protagonist of the movie is really solid. I think. It's interesting. It's an interesting story. It has some actually genuine creepy moments in it. Some good scary stuff. That third act is balls to the wall crazy. Again, a lot of people probably haven't seen the movie. You will never see anything quite like the end of this movie, man. You're wanting some gross ass body horror. This is the place to go, man. So check that out. Yeah, it was creative. It was well made. So again, it's not my cup of tea, but it's got those things going for it. So I'm going to put it Breakfast with a Grabber.
Okay. So can you pull up a Mel's comment for me? Because I'm just pretty much leave it up for the whole time because I 110% agree with her with that statement. Because seriously, what the hell was that all about? It's just to me, like and just the thing with the first and second act of this movie, I was really digging it. First off, it's a beautiful shot movie, A24 with the artsiness and all that. It was definitely there, and it was really nice. Like I already even remember us talking about it, Brad, in our trailer reaction for Men of how great the cinematography was.
Yes, absolutely. And it
but
delivered.
Yeah, it'll do. And it definitely delivers on that front. But it's just unfortunately, the third act completely does a 180 on us. And that just took me completely out of the movie. I know there's like some secret hidden message behind what they were doing and all that. Just to me, it did. It did not land for me. So I'm going to join you, Brad, just because of the beautiful cinematography alone and the acting was superb. But again, that third act is just what really knocks this movie whole for me. So I'm going to join you with Breakfast with the Grabber.
Yeah, it's a good spot, man. I thought it was obviously I thought it was a little heavy handed with his messages and stuff too. Obviously it just, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it was really well made. And I know Flamethrower comes in and says, fuck men. And
what are you saying, the movie or us?
I'm saying the movie. The movie says us. It's all, it is what it is. Aaron Click says I love men. That sounds awkward.
No, trust me, we totally understand. Like I know it's we could just say A24 men. How about that? Just to clear up any confusion.
Yes.
So,
well made. Well made though. Well made flick.
Absolutely. And okay, I don't have a poll. Just wanted to make sure. So, my pick here. Let's throw let's throw a banger here. Probably one of the most. It's going to be one of the most split down 50-50 movies, possibly of all time in the horror genre. Are you ready, Brad?
I'm ready.
Halloween Ends.
Oh man, dude! I thought that was gonna be the finale. Okay, I'm ready to talk about it though. I can.
Okay, yeah, I feel like I think we're ready to talk about it, man. Just to get a little little bump up in the comic session here. But man, Halloween Ends. Definitely 50-50 for me. I'm sure this movie will grow over time with me, but it's just the only saving grace of this movie. It's just the story of Corey Cunningham. Without the Corey storyline, this movie would be the bowl of our Krispies. But it's just something with the Corey Cunningham character. It's just so damn interesting, and it really saves this movie for me. Michael is a bitch ass in this movie. Laurie is just not interesting to me. Allison, a completely wasted character in the whole trilogy, except for the first one, 2018. She was awesome, but Kills and Ends, complete waste of character. So for me, Halloween Ends. Luckily, Brad, Corey Cunningham. So I'm putting this in the double booked Airbnb.
And you say this movie would suck ass without the Corey Cunningham storyline, but let me tell you something. Corey Cunningham is this storyline. That's what the whole movie's about. So for that reason, you know how I feel about this movie. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. We finally get some creativity, some originality, some fun in the Halloween franchise. We're doing something different. We're taking it a different direction. We're having a little bit of fun with it. We're doing something cool for the first time since 1983 or whatever year fucking Halloween 3 came out. So yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. It's an honor for Halloween Ends.
Yep,
and I think
we're going with the poll. I should have
It,
known.
you know what? It's got its problems. It does have problems. It's not a perfect movie. It's not going to the top for that reason. But I tell you one thing for damn sure. There's only one movie that I've seen 3 or 4 times this year, and it's Halloween Ends and Top Gun, but that's not on this list. And the Batman, of course, too.
Man, I've
but,
only seen
yeah.
all those movies once. Well, except for Halloween Ends, because we were freaking watching that movie like a mofo on our channel.
That's the one movie too. I watched this movie twice in one day. I went to the theaters, I watched it, came back, watched that son of a bitch again on Peacock right after. And I haven't done that since Suicide Squad came out last year. So that's really cool.
Excuse me, sir.
The Suicide Squad.
No, you said it wrong.
What?
You said Peacock. It's supposed to be
Oh,
Peacock.
You're right, dude. I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Thinking
So I
about
came
what am I
back.
gonna
I
do
watched
with
it
you?
again. And you know what? This had more people talking than any Halloween movie, dude. It came out. Yeah, it was divisive. There were a lot of people that hated it, a lot of people that liked it. But it had people talking, and that's the main thing, man. They dug it.
Sound Painter saying Laurie's character was the best part about Ends. I'm sorry, like just for me, it's just a no. Like, I feel like Laurie in 2018 was good. Kills meh, but it's supposed to be meh. If it ends, this is supposed to be the end of her whole arc, this whole journey to this moment, and we just get like a 5-minute fight in the kitchen. That's just so bland. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't do it for me. If you're going to be Halloween Ends and end of such an important arc of like the history of like the importance of the Halloween franchise, and you gave us that, majorly disappointed.
But see, you know what? I'm with Sound Painters, and I'm here with Aaron Click, who said that Laurie was good in this one. She has much more to do in the first than in Halloween Kills. And I'm here with Chris Snyder. Laurie was great. My favorite version of Laurie in this trilogy. I agree. By far the best version of Laurie Strode we got in this trilogy. And you know, I like that quite a bit. She was a highlight for me. I like Corey more. Corey was a fantastic character. But man, I thought that Laurie was pretty awesome too, though.
Well, I guess y'all just want to freaking rip out your bosoms of grief. And
hey, I'd whip him out. We should have put that at the top of the chart. That should have been the top tiers, whipping out your breast and saying "I do" or whatever it was.
well, you know, this is a PG show, man. So fuck it. I know. I was just saying if you got that. Okay, Brad. I'm not. 8 votes, 75% Airbnb. Do you want it to keep going?
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. I know it's
Okay.
not everybody's cup of tea.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I know how that movie is for you, so I just wanted to give you a chance. So, let's see here. Halloween Ends goes to the double booked Airbnb and joins Pinhead.
Yeah, that's
Go
good
away,
company.
Windows Security. So, all right, Brad, you are next up.
Let's do fall. Let's talk fall.
Ooh, I watched this. I just watched this like a couple hours ago for the first time.
Yes, and I tell you what, a lot of people might not put this as a horror movie. A lot of people might put this as a thriller movie. But I tell you, if you're scared of heights, like you are, like your boy over here, there's not one movie on this list that's scarier than this movie. So I personally say horror all day. Horror all day.
Oh, dude, and I agree with you because like a lot of people have a fear of heights. This one freaking takes it to a whole nother level. It even got me at some points too. So, like, because earlier I was like, "Wait, why does Brad consider this a horror movie?" Now I understand why. So, good call for adding this movie to this video to this live stream.
Yeah, and you know what? This is one of the biggest surprises of the year. I saw the trailer come out. I think I was at the theater for something, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, "This looks dumb as fuck." A whole movie of 2 people on a tower. And then I watched it, and I was like, and then I watched it, and I'm like, "Holy fuck!" So, I mean, it really takes the formula: 47 meters down, almost exactly. But I think it's better than that movie. I like the characters better in this movie. I think the setting is better in this movie. And it's not necessarily realistic for me because I would never climb the damn thing, but it feels more realistic than 47 meters down. It was so intense, the way it was shot, the way it was made, it actually sparked physical reactions from me. And there's no other movie on this list that came close to doing that. actually made me perspire, actually made me like shit my pants almost, not literally, but close. I came close. Dude, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. So if you guys haven't seen it, man, highly recommend it for this year. It's one of the biggest surprises of the year.
And I was surprised too. I thought like the character, definitely the characters of the two girls were definitely like the strongest highlight of this movie. And especially if y'all paid attention, the blonde girl in this movie, that's Vicky from Halloween 2018, the babysitter.
Damn, dude, I knew she was familiar.
Yeah, oh, I thought you knew that.
Dude, I'm really bad at recognizing people.
Well, she of course she changed, like, because again that Halloween 2018 was made in 2017, so I understand that. But yeah, I thought she was really good in this movie, and I thought the other girl was good too because she was in Annabelle Creations as one. I think she was the eldest girl of the like group of the girls that were at that house. I believe that was her. So let me know in the comment section if I'm completely wrong on that. My main problem, I had two main problems with Fall. The first one being some of the realisticness of this movie, just to me, just didn't quite land as much. But I do agree, Bradford, that this movie definitely makes you like kind of like, whoa, what the hell with the way they shot the movie. And then my second one is, dadgum, if you're going to have Jeffrey Dean Morgan in your movie, you got to give him something more to do. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, man.
It's fine, man. Yeah, he was good, but obviously, like, there wasn't much he could do in this movie. It wasn't about him. So
yeah, that's true. But man, I'll tell you this: when he was on screen, he freaking knocked it out of the park. Just for me, though, I'm going to put it at the double booked Airbnb. But definitely, this movie surprised me out of any of the movies on this list.
I'm going. It's an honor, man. Again, biggest surprise for me all year. One of the most enjoyable movie experiences I've had all year, and yeah, man, I thought it was really good.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'll put that right up there for you.
Whoa, hell yeah, man! That's a surprise. Gory Tiger asked what it's streaming on. I think it's not. I bought it. I know. I think we both did.
It's you got to rent it, but I'm pretty sure the rent's not that bad right now.
Yeah, it should drop on something at some point, but yeah, it's definitely worth it.
When Brad talks about a movie, I'll look for you. Let's see here. You picked Fall. Let's see here. Brad, I feel like we haven't really smiled a lot in this stream, so let's freaking get our smiley faces on to talk about Smile.
Let's do that.
Yes, because kind of like how you're saying Fall really surprised you. Like for you, Smile did that with me. It surprised me the most out on this list too, because this movie had all the ingredients for an absolute dumpster fire. But because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just freaking Truth or Dare from Blumhouse with the whole smiley faces and all that, but it's going to be worse. Man, it was not worse. This movie has some actual genuine scares. It had good tone and atmosphere. I love Rose, the main girl, not Rose the Hat, but Rose, the protagonist in this movie. I thought she did a really good job in this movie for what she was given to do. Of course, Kyle Gallner was in this movie, and I thought he did a solid job for his role. Just again, what kind of does it for me is the third act wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. But it's okay for this type of movie, folks. So for me, this movie goes to the double booked Airbnb.
Yeah, dude, I remember when I saw the trailer for the first time at the theater, I was like, man, what the fuck? We're doing this thing again. Obviously I thought it was a little corny. I thought the marketing in general though for the movie was absolutely brilliant, dude. They had people at baseball games, behind people at Good Morning America, like all kinds of cool stuff. Some brilliant marketing. So it got a lot of buzz when it came out, so it intrigued me. It came out to streaming on Paramount, and I watched it. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm right there with you, Birdie. I thought the third act I didn't like that much. I thought it had some pacing issues throughout, but all the good stuff you said was there. It was scary. It's one of the scarier movies of the year, I think. So I'll appreciate it for that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it really slowed down at times, and I didn't like the third act that much. So I'll put it right there in the middle as well, in the double booked Airbnb.
All right, and sorry, I was looking because Rosie said a comment about Kevin Bacon's daughter, so I gotta look that up real quick.
Was she? Oh, you know what? I did see something. Was that in Smile? She was
Yeah,
in Smile.
that was the main girl. That was Rose. Holy shit.
Okay, I remember her being talked about at some point this year, and I guess it
Oh
was from
hell
Smile.
yeah.
So yeah, I didn't put that together. That's awesome.
No wonder I liked her because anything with bacon's going to be good.
Fuck you.
Oh my god! And just to answer, who had the question? Gory Tiger, your question is on Rents right now for $6, and I think that's a good value for fall.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's definitely, dude. I'm telling you, man. There's two movies that gave me a physical reaction this year: this Fall and Top Gun, and yeah, it was cool.
Well, Top Gun's
Uh,
because she saw that son be in 4DX.
Well, I saw it in regular first though, but yeah, the second time in 4DX, I almost died. But Aaron Click said it right. I thought it was going to be super generic, but most reviewers gave it favorable review. Yeah, they did, man. They did for sure. Dude. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you see the trailer reaction we did for it, dude, it spooked us the fuck out. It gave us a nice jump scare right there. Yeah, that was one of the biggest jump scares we've had in the trailer reaction, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely the biggest one. So, Brad, what did you give Smile?
In the middle for me.
All
Double booked
right.
Airbnb.
You and me both, man. And that puts a smile on my face. So, Brad, go ahead and pick the next one.
Let's talk about Deadstream, man.
I figured you were going to go with that one. So, what about Deadstream? Because you really wanted me to watch this movie. So, why did you want me to watch this movie?
I kind of caught this one on a whim during October. I was just scrolling through Shudder. I liked the poster. I thought the poster was cool. So I clicked it, saw that it had really good reviews. So I was like, you know what? Let's check it out. And I watched it, and it was just a hell of a fun movie, man. It really felt like Evil Dead 2. It had those same kind of vibes. Obviously, the main character here does not compare with Ash Williams. I'm not saying he's that. I thought the main character was kind of annoying at times. That's one of my negatives for the movie. But it was a really fun time. It was really enjoyable. And yeah, I was glad I watched it. It's a found footage flick of the dude going to this haunted house, shit hits the fan, but it's done with such a good, like, pleasant with such a pleasant, energy to it, and just trying to have a good time. And it's got that goofy, crazy gore from Evil Dead 2. A lot of the goofy shit's happening, but it has a couple good scares in there too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, it definitely has some good scares. That even got me like going, "What the hell?" But man, you said it best. Deadstream is just so much fun. It knew what it was and what it wanted to be, and they freaking just went for it, man. And just to let you know, too, Brad, that the main character of this movie was also the director of this movie.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Joseph Winter. Yeah, so because when I was doing some kind of like thing with something we're like a project we're doing in January next year, which I'll let you all know what that is at the end of this. That somebody brought it to my attention for with one of their particular nominees, and they mentioned Joseph Winter. So I thought that was pretty neat. But this movie was also neat too. I laughed a couple of times, and then there were other times where I'm like more towards what you said, Brett. Like, this character's annoying. I wish he kind of shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But definitely some of the funnest moments in this movie are when he talks to the freaking stream chat. I think that was hilarious at times. And the best one that, like, for me is his freaking t-shirt.
Yeah, what did his t-shirt say? I remember it being pretty good.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody just because it was so funny and I want people to watch that because it legit made me laugh so hard I had to pause the movie because I thought it was a brilliant comedy move.
Yeah, I remember it being kind of a funny shirt, but I can't remember what it said.
Okay, it was a black card and it had some sentences and then like he backed away. I'll tell you after the stream. How about that?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so with me though, with Deadstream, it is a lot of fun. Definitely has freaking Evil Dead 2 vibes, but with a found footage flick, but still not perfect. So I'm going to put in the double booked Airbnb.
I'd agree with that. I'd put it there as well.
Okay, and then Josh says he hasn't seen Deadstream. Dude, forget hop on that. It's on Shudder right now.
Yeah, dude, check it out, man. You'll have a good time with it for sure.
Oh yeah. By the way, real quickly, I know we've been praising Shudder a lot tonight. We are not sponsors at all, so we're just fans of what Shudder offers us because Shudders have had one hell of a year when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah, man, I know I like that one. And The
Oh
Watcher.
yeah. Damn freaking right. Let's see here. You picked Deadstream. Let's freaking get our boogie on, man. You know, just let's get a fresh movie. Let's talk about a fresh movie, and that movie is Fresh from Hulu. To me, this was definitely one of the surprising horror movies of the year, especially with how early on we got this movie.
Yeah, dude, this came out back in like February, I think. Again,
Yes.
straight to Hulu. Sebastian Stan in there, dude, aka Young Luke Skywalker. Um, yeah, I thought, it was hella fun, man. Both the characters, Daisy Edgar Jones,
Yeah,
right?
Daisy Edgar
Jones,
Jones.
Jones. She was really a standout in this movie. I thought this was gonna be one that pretty much kickstarts her career, and
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, man, absolutely cool. The two of them had great chemistry together throughout the movie, and that's really what made this movie so good. Is those two performances?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Their like chemistry was just straight fire, and just Daisy Edgar Jones, like with this movie, Fresh, and Where'd the Crawdads Sing, that those two movies from this year is what's going to put Daisy Edgar Jones like to the next level. And I think she also has done a popular TV show this year too that she's
Under the Banner
actually
of Heaven.
receiving. Say that again.
Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield. It's one I've been wanting to see for a while, and it's also on Hulu.
Yeah. Yes, and because that one's getting a lot of like major award, like watching with her supporting role into that show. So Daisy Edgar Jones was awesome, but man, freaking Sebastian Foe, freaking Winter Soldier, he was definitely one of the most entertaining characters of this year, in my opinion. And he just has such a unique charisma about him, especially what he does in this movie, which I'm not going to tell y'all what he does. You all need to freaking go watch it. I again highly suggest you all do without spoiling anything. So because like the less you know about this movie, the better you're going to enjoy it. So for me, I honestly, in my opinion, think that this is an honor.
I'd agree with that, man.
Yes.
Though there's a lot of love in here for taking it to the X Factor, man. My Killer
Ooh,
podcast,
really?
Chris Snyder. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's yeah, it was, dude. Go in blind if you haven't seen it. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I did the same. I went in blind. I think Chris told us to watch it. Galway.
Oh
the
yeah,
one,
our Chris. Our Chris.
Yeah. So yeah, we checked it out, and I think we did a review. We did a review for it.
Yes, we did.
But yeah, dude, it was such a refreshing movie, even though we've seen kind of the concept be done before. This one takes it to the next level. And just yeah, man, it was one of the better movies of the year.
Yeah, man, it's just like it kind of frustrates me as so because like Fresh to me could have really benefited from a theatrical release.
Absolutely, yeah, it really could have. But you know what? That's the future of movies, man. Especially these kind of mid tier. I mean, budget wise, not quality wise, but these mid tier horror movies, man. Like we saw a lot of that this year. Hellraiser, Fresh, Prey, even was a big one.
Yeah, and Prey's a good one that we'll freaking talk about here in a minute. So yeah, Fresh, definitely it's an honor. And Rosie says, so fresh and so clean.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and then Mel says also from My Killer Podcast saying super fun. And most definitely this movie is super fun, especially for what this movie is really about. That's what I like to see people's reactions for.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was gnarly, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, Brad, you're up.
Let's go ahead and talk. I mean, dude, let's go ahead and talk Orphan First Kill. And then the rest of the movies are all going to be freaking, man, they're going to be all over the place.
Oh my god. Freaking banger after banger after banger, as Sheamus says in WWE.
Yeah, we might start to fill in this top row a little bit.
Oh, most definitely. So, Brad, what about you, Orphan First Kill?
Big surprise. Again, another really good surprising. Again, straight to streaming with Paramount Plus. I liked Isabel Furman. is the character that
Mhm.
plays Esther, or the actor. Man,
Yeah, I
I'll tell you
believe that's
what,
the actress's name.
this thing came out again. No expectations for this one. I saw the first one. It's been many years. I barely remembered it. I remember the twist. That was about it. And this thing came out, and so I gave it a shot. It had some positive buzz, and man, dude, I tell you, man, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. They did a lot of good things, some nice twists and turns that made it a little bit more interesting. Kind of, change your expectations a little bit. Kind of change what you're, looking at, what who you're pulling for, and things like that. So I thought they did some really good things with that. And again, Isabel, she's a little older now. It was a little weird at times seeing her in this character. But you can look past that when you're watching it. You understand there's nothing you can do about that. You can de-age. That's just silly. Let's not do that. Let's just have a good time. So, you can look past that and have a good time with it. And obviously it's low budget, kind of corny at times. Some of the effects, there was a fire at one point that, it looked like
Dude,
it
do you
looked like,
remember that freaking special effect I did for when we talked about the orphan? It's like, hey, I could create better fire, and then I just freaking add that freaking Filmora special effect. Like, that's how bad that fire effect was.
yeah, it was right up there, man. That's a good point. But man, it was a lot of fun. I'd put it right in the middle, man. Double booked Airbnb.
And I'll go ahead and agree with you. That's a good place to put it, because when I first heard about this movie, I was like, first off, why do we need to go back to the roots? No, thank you, roots, for this particular one. Because I thought the first one was just really good for what it was. It's just a standalone movie. Fortunately, that movie got spoiled for me. But just in case if people don't know, I'm not going to spoil for the Orphan and for Orphan First Kill. Watch Orphan first, and then Orphan First Kill. That's the order to watch it. But when I watched this movie, it really did surprise me. I thought Esther was really good. Was just really good. It's not like she didn't lose a beat at all. And then just how she tortures her family was just really uncomfortable and really unsettling, especially eating a certain soup. But you'll understand that when you freaking watch it, man. But yeah, Esther just goes on a tear. But yeah, there was just a lot of things going for it, or going against it, like the CGI fire. And just, to me, mainly, it's just this movie was not needed for me. But I still had a good time with it. So double booked Airbnb for me.
Yeah, man, I think that's a good spot for it, for sure.
Hell yeah. Shoot, we haven't heard from the comic section in a while. Let's see if there's any comments worth pulling up here,
Yeah,
which there's always is.
Antona says, why are Nope and Jeepers Creepers 4 not on the tier list, even though I didn't really like Nope? I did think Nope would, I thought you'd probably put Nope on here. So if you want to put it somewhere, you can. I haven't seen it, so that was the thing. That was the main thing. It wasn't on our joint list. Jeepers Creepers, I'll be honest with you, man. I haven't seen it. Brett hasn't seen it. I have no desire to see it. I never want to see
it just to see how bad it is.
No, I don't have any desire to see that one. I do want to see Nope still. I know it's on Peacock now, but I just haven't got a chance to see it, to be honest with you. It's just one of those that's just been eluding and evading me since it came out.
Yeah, and honestly, man, you could take your time with it. Just in my opinion, it's Jordan Peele's weaker of his three films. And to answer your question, Thomas, just because Brad didn't watch it and I don't actually quite remember a whole lot from Nope, so I just didn't want to do it injustice to anybody. But if I did have to put a placement for it real quick, it would be for double booked Airbnb for me.
Okay, cool. Good to know. I was about to say Smudge is here and said that it deserves a mention. Smudge is also asking about The Cursed and The Sadness. I did not see The Sadness. I did.
Curse, I'm not. I've heard about that flick. I just haven't had a chance to see it. But The Sadness, I just knew Brad hasn't watched it. But just for that movie, it's somewhere between It's an Honor and Double Book Airbnb, depending on what your kind of taste is when it comes to the term of gore, because it's an extremely gory movie. Not as much as a certain movie we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But just I would say for me, It's an Honor with Sadness, and it's also available on Shudder.
The Cursed is one. I watched it. It was on Hulu. I didn't like The Cursed really that much. I'd put it somewhere around Breakfast with the Grabber.
Okay.
It was good. I mean, I really enjoyed like the atmosphere was really good. The setting was really cool. The cinematography was good. But I was bored to death. I didn't like the characters. I wasn't really that interested in them. So yeah, it was one of those that's kind of towards the bottom. And that's one Brett didn't see, so we didn't put it on the list.
Yeah, and that's why too. But we still appreciate you guys like mentioning these movies as well. So just in case if we haven't heard of one, we can add it to our watch list.
Exactly.
So let's see here. Brad, you picked Orphan First Kill, right?
Yes.
Oh my God! Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I like to call these the big six of 2022, in my opinion.
I agree.
So man, this is going to be tough. Let's go ahead, and since we're on like the Hulu and the streaming trades with some of the past movies we talked about, let's go ahead and knock out Prey, another Hulu exclusive. That, in my opinion, this one was the biggest crime for me because this one should absolutely be in theaters.
Totally agree, man. Really, really sad it didn't be in theater. Like this would have been something awesome to see in theaters. Dude, this was I'll be honest with you, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it's in my top 5. This is one of those that you come back to a franchise, a beloved franchise, and Predator, and you give us the second best movie in that franchise, and I would say a hands down fashion. I don't think there's anything else that competes for that spot. You bring us in a great character with Amber Midthunder that came in as Naru.
Badass name.
Setting is probably the coolest. I mean, I love the jungle setting from the first one. Don't get me wrong, but going all the way back to freaking Native American times, like like really old school, like really primitive weapons going against something that's from outer space, like with all this futuristic shit. I think that's a really cool setting, and it really, to me, opens the door for a lot of cool things you can do with the Predator. A lot of cool different directions you can go. Vikings, we're talking Vikings. We're talking pirates. We're talking all kinds of crazy shit you could do.
Freaking ninja that shit.
This was a dream matchup. It was really cool, and I thought what they did with the Predator was fantastic. I love seeing the action sequences were great, again, it was outstanding. It's an X factor for me. I'll be honest with you.
And you know what, dude? Like for me, it would be It's an Honor. But man, dude, you're right, though. Like a lot of people love this movie, so I'll go ahead and give you this one big time. For the X Factor, I think it deserves to be there. Man, what? Finally, we are back on the right track with the Predator franchise with Prey. So thank you, Prey, for saving that franchise, especially with the atrocity that is the Predator. Because I'm not going to get on a tangent with that horrible ass movie, but with Prey, Naru was such a good. This is like a final girl, like kind of like a girl empowerment done correctly because it didn't like overexpose it. Like it was part of the story with this that she was different from her tribe. Like females don't go out and fight or hunt, only the men do that, and she was different and she wanted to prove herself. And we really enjoyed her character, where we like enough where we invest into it and where we want her to succeed. And plus, she's just a badass fighter, man. Like that whole third act, like how she just kicks so much ass. I freaking love it, man. And the Predator looked really awesome too. Even though I would love to see the rematch between the Predator and the Bear if the Bear did cocaine. So, but Prey, I believe it does deserve the X Factor.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. Camp Blood said Prey is my favorite Predator movie, I think. And dude, I gotta say, I'm right there with you. Like it definitely competes with the first movie because it's way more character driven than any movie in the story, in the franchise. And I'm a big fan of character driven shit. So it's up there. Rosie said the way they
you son of a bitch.
You're such a ninny. Did I say ninny? Or did I say ninja? I meant ninny. Rosie said the way they speak in a modern way in Prey was annoying. Yeah, not accurate. Obviously, I know they talked about doing native language in there, which would have been cool, but I don't fault them for doing modern language English. I think, honestly, like, yes, it's more immersive whenever they go in and they do something. Like, remember Passion of the Christ came out. They made the whole movie, like, the native language at that time. But it also is just, it's more fun to watch whenever you can understand it. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. I just enjoy it more when I don't have to read subtitles the whole time. For me. So I appreciate it for that.
Yeah, like from a movie perspective, I totally understand. But I could also see like kind of like where people that like want stuff like this to be accurate, kind of like how like The Witch was with like their with the language and all that, how they speak. But to me, those are like two different movies. So it's just like pick and choose pretty much. And I think Prey definitely went the right direction with it.
Right. Yeah, I think so too, man. I just because, it's one of those things I can just kind of in my mind, I could say, okay, in actuality, they'd be speaking differently, but for the sake of this movie, it's so I can understand it. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I can understand that.
Oh, most definitely. Brad, go ahead and pick with the next one because I have an idea what I think you're about ready to pick.
Let's talk. Oh fuck. Let's talk. The Black Phone.
Damn, I thought not what I thought you were going to pick, but still an excellent choice.
Boom boom. Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Yeah, so friggin' The Black Phone, man, definitely one of my most anticipated movies of 2022. Even though it was supposed to be released in 2021. However, with the Global Bastard and all that, it got pushed back. And you know what? I'm kind of glad it did because The Black Phone did get its own month, a successful month in the box office. And man, friggin', they nailed it out the park. And just when you freaking Ethan Hawke playing the villain, playing the grabber, you thought that was going to be the big highlight of the movie. Dude, freaking Finny and Gwen freaking just freaking stole the whole movie with it, especially Gwen. She definitely stole that movie. And I think that actress is going to have such a bright future ahead of her. Man, but just Scott Derrickson comes back, freaking knocks it out of the park. Definitely we have he fixes the main issue with lighting. So thank you, Scott Derrickson, for doing that after 10 years. Just to figure out that little technique. Oh, let's increase the brightness of the movie. But man, dude, this movie is so dark because with the time set in this movie, with the realistic of like, kids getting kidnapped, all that, and just how scary that is. Still scary today. It's just such a great movie. And I think a lot of people will have this as their favorite movie of 2022. And I do not blame them for that. So I'm going to make them happy and put this as an X Factor.
Ooh, man, I'm torn between X Factor and It's an Honor, but you know what? I can meet you there. I can meet you there. It's a movie that I really, I dig it a lot. I really dig it. It's not, I think I've seen it 3 times, maybe twice. I can't remember.
Twice for
one
me.
thing one thing I really enjoy about it, I actually like the first act, probably my favorite. I like that sense of paranoia they give us. The whole town's kind of on nerve about this kidnapper out there freaking roaming the streets, picking people up, taking them to their basement. I think, I don't know. I am kind of torn. I almost want to say
if we need the vote on it, we absolutely can.
Let's take it to a vote. This is a big movie.
Yeah, plus we haven't done a vote in a while, so we gotta make sure you guys keep on having fun too. We always want to make sure you guys are having fun.
Because I think I would put It's an Honor, just barely. It's still in my top 10. It's still in my top 10 for the year for sure. But yeah, I think it's kind of slow at times. It can be when it's not the first watch. You're really invested in it. The first watch you're really invested in it, and you're really into seeing if Finney's going to get out. But once you know what happens, going back and watching it again, it is kind of slow at times.
And you know what? Just kind of thinking about it, you are correct about that. And then a little bit of the third act, the third act was still really strong, but to me, I kind of expected more with the way how they were building up everything. And plus, them like going after a certain thing with the other kids, I wasn't the biggest fan on. But again, I kind of understand for what they were going with, especially with like Gwen and what she was able to do. So I could kind of see it that way, but it's just okay for me. So we'll leave that in the as a poll right now. So be sure to vote on that. And then we will revisit it after we talk about our next movie. And it's my turn. So, dude, Okay, actually, I'm going to save it for the main event. I think you know which one I'm talking about, Brad, for the main event. So let's freaking talk about the real X factor of all these movies. Let's talk about X.
Let's talk about X. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
X is one that, again, Uh, if you would have asked me right after I saw it, it would have been an easy X Factor for sure. And I still think it's one of the better movies of the year. I really much enjoy it. Again, it's one of those that kind of loses me though. The first couple acts I love. I think the third act of this movie, for whatever reason, it's fun. I just feel like it's a little bit dragged out. It's a little bit dragged out, I should say.
Hmm.
It slows down the pace in the third act when shit should be hitting the fan. Just one too many times for me. I've watched this one I think 3 times as well. First time, absolutely loved it. If you watch our review, I'm over the moon about it, and I still am. I still think it's definitely one of the better. It's still a top 10 movie for me of the year, and I've seen a lot. So I'm not saying it's bad, but man, the second time I watched it, I wasn't as into it. The third time I watched it, I don't even know if I finished it because I got to the third act and it just kept slowing down, and it takes the time to see these two old people fucking, and which I know is a really important part of the story. I get that. But
for you, it might be.
But it's not what I needed to see at that time. But I will say this, man, it's a slasher film at the end of the day. And it's a slasher film with some really good characters that we really like and we really enjoy. Obviously Mia Goth comes in strong here, as well as really the whole cast. I thought Kid Cudi was a blast. I thought Brittany Snow was really awesome as well. Jenna Ortega was in this one. She's a smaller role, but she was in this as well. One of the few many things she was in this year. And she was just as good in this as well. So yeah, it's still a very enjoyable flick. Great soundtrack, a lot of good atmosphere. Really feels like it's made in the 70s. So yeah, it's still near the top, but it's an honor for me.
Oh man, dang gummit, man, this is definitely an X factor for me because this movie just really surprises me. Like, it's a slasher movie, but to me, it's one of those unique slasher movies with the way how they set up everything, where you thought this was going to be one absolute complete porn video, and then the whole second act, like the sheriff says at the end, this is one fucked up horror picture, and that's definitely what it is. Like, I had so much fun with this. We had so many cool characters that like makes us laugh and makes us uncomfortable. Again, to old people fucking, like, I understand they need their love, but man, that was very disturbing watching it. I feel more bad for freaking Maxine freaking underneath the bed as they were getting it on. So like, holy shit on that. But I have a lot of fun with the third act. They had a lot of good music choices and the kills were really cool, especially with like the cinematography with the X kill, with Don't Fear the Reaper was playing. That was definitely my favorite kill of the movie. So along with what you just said as well, just to kind of keep it short, I think X is definitely an X factor.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's pull it. Let's see what the other poll was, and
All right.
Call it and put a new one up.
All right. Well, the Black Phone is a 70% of It's an Honor. So that's where it's going to go.
Hell yeah.
So right there. And then let me get this next poll up right here of X. X Factor or
Aaron said lots of passable flicks in 2022. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Absolutely. When we're going to do a top 10 for horror movies, that's almost going to be an impossible task.
Aaron also said X is overrated for me. I don't know why so many horror movies felt flat so and so for me this year. Rosie said it captured the 70s so well. Absolutely. Very strong
Big time
point about that.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And that's why I like and plus the 70s to me is a underrated era, like for people to put a setting into a movie.
Yes, absolutely, dude. And they nailed it. They nailed that vibe. And Tona said, didn't Mia play two characters? She did, Pearl and Maxine.
And I didn't know that until after I left the theater.
I didn't either. I didn't. She did such a good job, and the makeup was. I mean, I could tell it was a younger actor, but I did not know it was her.
Yeah. So, Brad, go ahead and pick the next one.
Let's go with Pearl.
All right. So, freaking Pearl, man. I'll go first here with Pearl. This is the prequel to X. And man, this movie was so good because it just goes in a completely different direction with the time setting, going into the 20s. And this was definitely a character study movie, but it was so entertaining because this is a character you want to know what happened in the past with Pearl, of how she becomes this crazy ass bitch, to kind of put it nicely. But you know what? After watching it, you kind of understand why she goes in this direction. I'm not going to say that killing is the right thing to handle about things, but you can easily understand her frustrations and her rough life as she was given. When all she wants just to be was a freaking star, man. So just for me, this movie is absolutely a star, and I will also give this an X Factor.
I'd agree with you on this one, man. I'd put Pearl up at X Factor all day.
Already?
Because you know what? I'm a character-driven guy, and this is a character-driven
Big
movie.
time.
And this movie is where Mia Goth really gets the shine as an actor, coming in strong and brings Pearl to life. I think one of the best characters of the year of 2022. And it's because of this movie, man. And it really does. This movie does make X better. It does. It does its job as a prequel to really build on, what the first movie of X. And it makes you understand why she's so in X, why she's got such a fear of missing out, a FOMO, if you will. This movie explains why. It gives you that explanation on her character, and it was fantastic. And her that outstanding monologue towards the end of the movie, that 9 minutes of her just uncut talking in the camera, was outstanding. One of the best scenes of the year, in my opinion. And just her kind of descent into madness, almost, is what you could call it, is really outstanding. And again, Ty West coming in and finding a period of film and making us feel like this movie is made in that period. This really felt like it was Wizard of Oz made in that time period, which is really outstanding. And yeah, it's really cool.
Dude, absolutely. And I want to point out 2 comments here at the Sound Painter Studio saying the story is stronger. Absolutely agree with that. The story is stronger in Pearl. So if you're a story-driven person, kind of like how Brad is, and story like a character-driven, you're definitely going to love Pearl. X, to me, is just more entertaining. That's why I have X over Pearl, just for that entertainment factor.
Yeah, and Camp Blood said this is probably one of the best prequels ever, and I couldn't disagree with that.
Agree,
I honestly
easily agree with that.
Yeah.
And he also said another comment too here. Yes, Frigga agreed with Brad. Made X so much better. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, it really did. It just it's one of those that really builds.
Oh no, we made one of our Screen Warriors pissed. So Mia said, "What's going on, Mia? I know you did not put Howling Ends and Orphan First Kill over the monsters. I know, we're sorry. But Mia, in the description, there is a link where you can make your own tier list, and then you can show us what's right with the monsters."
Yeah, dude, for real.
I'm not sure why I'm looking at this when it should be looking right here, but there we go. Let me check the poll.
I got Smudge here saying Pearl, also X. For some reason, from the trailer, I thought it would be semi comedic. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, dude, it had a little bit of stuff in there, but
yeah, I am sorry. You know that. Like, come on, it hurts my feelings when you don't believe me. But man, this poll's close. So, Brad, I'll let you. People are saying it's an honor. 56% out of 9 votes. Should we keep that poll a little bit longer?
We can. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's just do it a little bit longer.
Are we still waiting on X to get?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about with the poll with
okay.
X.
Yeah, because Pearl we did together.
Yeah, and there's one I want to talk about last, but I think for the betterment of this stream, I'm going to save or put the other one for last. So with me, I want to talk about Terrifier 2.
You don't want to do Barbarian first?
Oh, I think Barbarian we're going to have a different opinion on, so that's why I was wanting to save it last.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it don't matter to me. You want to play rock, paper, scissors real quick?
No. I'm good with Terrifier as well.
Okay, so and I'll let you go first because I want to hear your thoughts because I was waiting so patiently for you to check out this movie.
Dude, you're talking about surprise for the ages, man. We've talked about the surprises a few times tonight. This was one. I know a lot of people like the first Terrifier movie a lot. I mean, I thought it was okay. Like I wasn't over the moon about it. I watched it one time back when it was, it started getting buzz, and never watched it again. Never really had a desire to, because that movie, I mean, come on, it had a $30,000 budget. It's super cheap. And it feels that when you're watching it. And this movie comes in with a $250,000 budget, 260, 265, somewhere in that ballpark. Still ridiculously cheap. This is less than what Halloween got back in 1978. So yeah, I think that they came in with this low ass budget, and they really did something with it, man. And I appreciate it for that. You look at these low budget films, and yeah, you don't see a lot of of high quality effects, although in this movie you do. I think the effects in this movie were actually really good.
Damn right.
Really, I will take these effects in Terrifier 2 than the CGI any day of the week. Give me this. You get a lot of heart, you get a lot of soul in this movie, you get a lot of effort, and that's what I like to see when I watch horror movies, man. I don't want to see somebody phoning in. I don't want to see somebody, trying to get a payday, trying to grab some cash from the audience. I want to see somebody come in, be grateful that they're in the opportunity to make a movie and really do something to it. And I want to see them put Chris Jericho in their movies. That's what makes me happy.
Even though he didn't have nothing to do, so.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't have a lot to do. You come in, you give us a movie that makes Saul look like a freaking cake factory. At the end of the day, all the Saw movies are tame in comparison to this movie, despite the ridiculous differential in budget. And you give us a character, you give us a horror character of Art, who, again, I wasn't really sold on in the first Terrifier. I didn't really care for that much. I liked the movie. I thought it was okay. But he comes in this movie and brings us some really dark comedy, a really good performance, some really creepy eye movements, some creepy laughs, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, no, it's not. This movie's not going to win any Academy Awards, even though they nominated it or they submitted it to be considered.
But that's still badass, though. Like that they they even made fun of themselves for that.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, for what they were able to pull off with this amount of money they had, I mean, fan films almost get this kind of money, dude, on YouTube. Like that, that's the comparison. And what they were able to pull off with that was outstanding. And they not only that, some of the acting was spotty, but the main character of what was her name? Sienna, thank you, with an S, was outstanding. One of the better final girls I've seen in years, dude. She was so good. She was so compelling. And yes, I gave this movie shit for being 2 hours and 18 minutes, and I still think it's too long. But
that's my job.
They gave this character Sienna a lot of screen time. I thought it was going to be 99% gore, zero story. No, they subverted my expectations. They gave us a lot of time with Sienna. They let her grow. So I mean, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, and maybe it's not as good as some of these other movies, objectively speaking, but with what the budget to enjoyment ratio, let's put this thing at the top for me. I'll give it an X factor.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm freaking joining you right off the bat there. And if you would pull up Josh's comment for the rest of me talking about Terrifier 2, if you don't mind, Brad, the 100% agree, Brad, practical effects over CGI, because I've been saying that ever since we've been starting YouTube, that we need more practical effects. And dadgummit, Terrifier 2 gave us that and more. And because the practical effects in this movie were absolutely great, because if you can make mashed potatoes disgusting, you're doing something right.
You're talking ridiculous amount of gore, dude.
Oh, dude, especially the bedroom scene. Holy shit. Like, that was one of the most insane scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, dude, very I can even see why people are actually, like, physically get sick watching this movie in theaters. Like, I don't blame them. But even though here's me eating my popcorn and all that, just freaking having a damn good time with Art the Clown. And speaking of, like, good time, freaking David Howard Thornton, it's kind of like the epitome of what you were talking about, Brad. He wasn't there to make money. He was there to have a good time and to bring life into a character that is so unique and so different. And dude, it makes all the freaking difference in the world, because Art the Clown, after Terrifier 2, has officially earned his status as the next big horror icon in the horror genre. absolutely rightfully deserves it. And Sienna, like you said, one of the great final girls we've ever seen since, actually, I would go back since 2013 with Aaron from Your Next. That's the level of great final girl that Sienna is. I could compare her to that. I wouldn't say top 10, at least not yet, but definitely a strong performance from the actress. I believe her name is Lauren, that she gave to that character. Again, my big nitpick was this movie was almost 2.5 hours, and they could easily reduce the time on this. But other than that, man, I absolutely agree. It's an X factor.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're talking just what's great about it is you have such a ridiculously freaking gory, nasty ass scene in that bedroom, but it was done. It was comedic at the same time. Like they bring that dark humor into it. Like this bitch, she gets freaking skinned alive, dude, and she's still alive though. I'm not gonna say specifically what happens or who it was or anything like that, but dude, I tell you what though. Yeah, it was funny. It made you chuckle at the same time while being so gross. It was so entertaining at the same time. It was so fun.
Oh, dude, this movie is so much fun. And for some reason, if you have not seen Terrifier 2 yet, I'm pretty sure you could get a free subscription on Screenbox. That's how a lot of people go see Terrifier 2. Or you can also go ahead and rent it right now, which I also learned a couple of days ago that this movie is actually getting a 4K release, which I think that's actually, no, I'm sorry. That was a concept art, but it's definitely getting a Blu-ray, and I'm going to snag me a Blu-ray because of how impactful this movie was.
Sound Painter said, I also love the just the tip scene. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. And that scene that whenever they were at the
laundromat,
when they were the laundromat was hilarious. And then also when she was at the Halloween store and he's over there just freaking rattling shit in the background and stuff, just staring at her like that was money, dude.
Hey, if you're gonna put that in your mouth, you better pay for that. Oh my god, dude! But that's just the whole joy of art. At the same time, you want to be uncomfortable, but you want to have fun with him too. So it's just definitely one of the most unique. He'll probably be one of the most unique horror icons of all time.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, like you never know what you're gonna see when the camera pans over to Art. You have no idea what you're about to see on screen. Like literally,
but you definitely
mashed
are.
potatoes.
Your eyes are glued.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a refreshing, flick, man, and it's just nice to see that much heart going into it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And 69 Mega, you can go away. We're not talking about anything pornography, so go away. We already talked about X. But I saw a new person in the chat here of Maximo. What's going on, my friend? Welcome to Good Real Hunting. Everybody, make sure Maximo feels welcome. Saying Terrifier 2 was a lot of fun. X Factor for me. We absolutely agree with you.
Bring it to the top. Bring it to the top. You got a badass villain and a final girl from that needs to be at the top.
Brad, I'm glad we didn't end the poll earlier because I feel like we could end the poll now with 13 votes. 54% say that it's an X Factor.
Hey, man, if you want to end the poll, you can end the poll. You can end the poll.
I would appreciate that because it deserves it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so even though now we're going to get to a little bit of a differentiation of opinions here, Brad, with our last one. That's why I wanted to save it for last, because I thought you have already talked about this movie already. So it's freaking Barbarian, man. So you need to convince, I bet you're team Barbarian, where I'm team sort of Barbarian. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go first. What did you think about Barbarian?
Love the hell out of it, man. I thought, again, this was one I didn't see in theaters. I didn't get a chance to see in theaters. But I did check it out once it hit HBO, and I really, really thought this was another refreshing entry to the horror, the world of horror this year as well. Because, dude, again, I'm not going to spoil this one at all because I know there's probably some people that still hasn't seen this one. And it's one that really you need to go in blind. This is one I knew nothing about, didn't see a trailer, didn't know anything about it. I just went in, I watched it, and I took the ride. And I think that might be why I enjoyed it so much, because it really starts one way and completely 180s about halfway through. and then it just continues to do that throughout. It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and has one of the best jump scares of the whole fucking year, I would say. So I really liked it for that. I thought the performance was really good. I liked the main girl a lot. I liked the performance from Bill Skarsgård as well. Justin Long tore it up as well. I thought his character was a lot of fun. So yeah, I definitely think it was one of the better movies of the year. And I'm torn if I want to put it all the way at the top at X Factor, or if I want to put it as it's an honor. But I think I'm ready to make that commit. I think I'm ready to put it at the top. I think I'm ready to make that commitment.
Oh, for the X Factor.
I think so.
Okay,
I think it was. I will say this: there's not a movie I've recommended to people at work more than this movie, because I want them to get to that point where it takes the turn and get that reaction. And I've got a lot of those reactions via text messages saying, "What the fuck am I watching right now?" Because again, it's so unique and so crazy. It's like I've never seen anything quite like it in with some of the things they do, but it's also funny at times. It's really it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate to bust your bubble, though, Brad. To me, this is a double booked Airbnb with me.
Well, hell, dude, I'll meet you in the middle. We can put it. It's an honor if you want to.
Okay, so we can do a vote to end it out.
Right, a vote's fine, or we could split the difference like we usually do. And put
Okay,
it right there,
we'll do that. We'll split the difference. But here's why, though. Like, and Rosie said in the chat too that she hated Barbarian. I'm not on that level that I hated it. I just thought it was okay. Like, just to me, I don't see what was so special about it. Like, I just thought, like, the first half of this movie was really good. They set the tone and atmosphere of the movie. They created the mystique and the intrigue. Like, you don't think something's quite right, but you don't know what it is. So you're kind of like in the same shoes as the main girl. Like, I thought all that was great. All of that was the X Factor. But then when we get to the second half of the movie, that's where it goes completely downhill for me, and I was extremely disappointed. Just because I thought we could have gone in a cool direction, but they just kind of left that particular direction up in the air and didn't do much with it. I just thought the thing that dominates the second act, I thought that thing was just okay. I do agree with Justin Long. Like, he had a really good performance, and I'll be honest with you, I totally did not know that Justin Long was in this movie. So when I saw it in theater, I was like, wait a minute, Justin Long is in this damn movie?
He shows up out of nowhere, dude.
No, like randomly. But the thing, like, with his inclusion into this story was completely a 180. And I was like, wait a minute, did they just switch the movie? Like, did they freaking no longer? Like, I was just so freaking confused. And it's just with the many mixed directions they took in the second act, just really, like, let's just say it this way. The first half, it was an X Factor. The second half, I hate to say it, was a breakfast with the grabber. So that's why I'll just meet you, like, again, with the double booked Airbnb with your X Factor. So it's an honor, like with most of the fans, that's where it needs to go. But just for me, to me, I think this is actually a little bit overrated.
I'll tell you, no, I mean, I've seen a lot of people say that. I don't totally disagree that it is a little overrated. For me, it just clicked. It's one of the most memorable movies of the year for me, for sure. It's one that I like. I just have not forgotten, and it's definitely one I'm going to watch again, just because of all the crazy turns that it takes. You know, I will say, like the first quarter of the movie or so was so compelling and really well done. I will say though, it's a story that we've seen 1,000 times. You know, that kind of setup, that kind of build up. But this was done better than most. Like I'll give it that. And I was really
plus they added a new dynamic too with the whole Airbnb, because like, I'm sure there's like been mistakes like this that, like, and plus that's the thing too. If you run into somebody like a Bill Skarsgård, you're not going to know. It's like, is this somebody that I can trust, or is there something sketchy going on?
They really played on that really well, and I was really invested in it. And I wasn't, when they first did the 180, I wasn't quite sure how to feel, but then I was like, you know what? I really respect it for doing that. Like taking this thing to the next level and doing something crazy. I really appreciated that. And that's when it became something really fresh and different for me and more memorable. Like, I think if it would have continued down that original path that it was going, Yeah, it would have been enjoyable. It would have been really good, but would it have been as memorable? Would it have been Birdie? Without spoiling anything, I saw a comment a minute ago. I had to say, would it have been a movie that made you afraid of boobs? Like Aaron Click said here, I've never been afraid of boobs until this movie.
If our boy Chris was scared of a pair of tits, you know something. You know you gotta be afraid because that man is not afraid of any kind of tit.
Yeah, he even said that he wouldn't have a problem being in that situation. He would be fine. But yeah, I whoops, sorry. That was
Hey, even your
that
Google Assistant was agreeing. So.
Yeah, but it was just fun. It's really the most yeah, when you want to say what the fuck did I just watch, this is the movie you want to put in.
You know what? And I will agree with that. This is a good WTF to show somebody who's never heard of this movie and has absolutely no idea what's going on. So I don't disagree with it's an honor, but that's just my opinion. But let's check out these people in the chat, and then we'll do an overall summary of this list, and because I think it's a good looking list in my opinion. And then we'll say what's coming up and send you guys packing. Smudge says Barbarian is very good. Only problem I had with it was that when the girl got shot, she was acting like her ankle was sprained. You know, that's a good point. And how did she survive falling off? Yeah, without trying to spoil anything.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some realism critiques you could throw at it for sure.
Hey, I am pissing off Mia tonight. So Mia, hopefully I can make it up to you in the future. She said, Brett, I know damn well you didn't put Terrifier 2 up there. I can't help it. I love Terrifier 2. I think it's fantastic.
I agree. I can't disagree with Birdie in this one, man. I was very pleasantly surprised by that movie, man.
Dude, and I'll be honest with you, I was surprised you loved the movie as much as you did.
Oh, dude, it's just like dude, that was a movie. Even my wife liked it, you know,
and that's saying something.
And this is a movie that the reason it took me so long to watch is because I knew I had to be alone to watch it. I've been waiting on the opportunity to kind of sneak away and watch this 2.5-hour movie because I knew she would hate it. But I started it one morning and she was really into it, so we just watched it. And yeah, dude, it was good.
Well, you're lucky. I had to watch it with a girl with her freaking 2 24-ounce Trulies in her EpiPen. Which it's not an EpiPen. It was just a smoke pen. Just me and my birdery. That's gonna be a new quote, t-shirt, birdery. So
Brett texted me and him and Chris have this group chat, and he gets out of this movie. He said, "Dude, I just got out of Terrifier 2, and this girl was smoking an EpiPen." And I was like, and I even threw a clue out. I said, yeah, she must have been freaking pumped up after that movie, freaking ripping freaking popcorn tins around and stuff. He didn't pick up on the hint for a couple weeks, but he got there.
Man, if y'all personally know me, we just call my dumbass moments, we just call them Burt moments. Oh, man. But there was another comment I wanted to address too. Maximo was saying, I don't love Barbarian, but it was definitely different. Enjoyed the unexpected turn it took. It's double booked Airbnb for me, leaning towards it's an honor. And you know what? And that's fair.
Yeah, I like that. I could see that being definitely right there in the middle for a lot of people. I think that's a fair judgment.
Oh my gosh, we shouldn't have told that story because now Gory Tucker's saying Methasteel. Shit. We can't top that, so let's go ahead and freaking just do a quick overview and send the people home because I know, Brad, you gotta get off here in a minute. So here we go. X Factor, meaning the top of the top, go to the menu, Prey, X, Pearl, and Terrifier 2. Then our next high level, it's an honor. It is Scream, The Watcher, Fall, Fresh, The Black Phone, and Barbarian. And then our middle of the pack here, just more kind of like towards like our mediocre section. It's Hellraiser, Halloween Ends, Smile, Deadstream, and Orphan First Kill. And then our breakfast with the grabber is just kind of like not necessarily the worst, but just, meh. And I know, Mia, I'm sorry. The Munsters and A24's Men. And then last is the worst of the worst of a bowl of our Krispies. I hope they eat a whole bunch of that cereal and cut their mouths open. And that is Crimes of the Future, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and most deserving of all, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
That's a good list, man. And we want to see you guys' list too. Like Brett said earlier, we have a link in the description for y'all to do your own tier list. So fill that out with these movies and let us know. Send it to us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah,
so
just however you want to send it, because
link it down below.
We definitely want to see it.
Yeah,
we needs to see it. So, all right, let me remove that banner. I know y'all been looking at that to death too. So, Brad, let's see what's coming up on the channel here. Let's see here. Well, first off, we're getting pretty close to releasing a poll on our Screen Warriors page on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, because we're going to let you all decide what the very first episode topic is going to be. So pay attention. I would say early next week for that poll. And then hopefully we're going to give you all the debuting episode either late January or early February. That's around the time range that we're hoping for. We still need to talk over a schedule, but we're so excited for the first episode, and hopefully you guys are just as excited as we are. So that's for Scream Warriors. And if you have not seen already, the freaking Scream 6 teaser trailer came out, and we did a trailer reaction for it, and that video is available now on our YouTube page. But Brad, I know you're excited for this one, so talk about this.
We had to fit in a little bit of the Christmas spirit this week, seeing how it's next Sunday. So this Sunday, we're going to get together. We're going to have a nice little good real Christmas watch party, and that's going to be live watch party of Christmas Vacation. So that's going to be a lot of fun this Sunday. I think at 5 p.m., right?
That's what I have, yes. Normally with Sundays we do 5 p.m. and plus the Chiefs play at 1, so that's perfect for me.
Excellent. Playoff weekend for the fantasy too.
Oh, yeah. So freaking be sure to set up your lineups there. And then, of course, figure around the Christmas season, we just wanted to give back to the channel, too. We decided to plan a specialized event for next Tuesday, December the 20th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And we're going to present to you the first ever A Good Real Christmas. And what this is just going to be a simple live Q&A hangout, and we're going to bring some of our special guests, like our good buddies to the channel on, and I could go ahead and tell you the 3 guaranteed people that will be there. That is going to be Mia, as you saw in the chat. She confirmed that she is going to be there. And we're also going to bring on Destiny. And we're also going to bring on Chad Sumner, too. And we're hoping to bring on more people, a couple more people, too. So be sure to stay tuned for next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and bring your good, real questions. And we will answer any questions that you all have for a 2-hour span.
Absolutely.
All right. And Brad, we got 2 videos coming up here soon. I plan on this video coming out on December the 22nd, since we're not going to have a stream next Thursday, but we'll still do like a video premiere for this one.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the top 10 horror characters from 2022. Art the Clown's going to be there, the Grabber, Pearl. Who else? We'll find out then. We're going to be talking about that, man. We're going to be breaking it down from this year. A lot of good characters this year, and we're going to rank them.
Absolutely. And again, this is going to be an instant premiere. It won't be live, but it'll just be an instant premiere where me and Brad will be in the chat, and you could talk to us as you all can see us talk about our top 10 horror characters of 2022.
Yes.
Yes. And then lastly, Brad, we're getting pretty close to about ready to film this bad boy.
Yes, one we've been working on for a while, researching this based on a real story. Talking about a real story, I should say, a real story. We're gonna give you guys the true story that inspired The Conjuring, man. We're working on that.
Hell yeah. So that's all the goodies that we got coming up for you. And just want to thank everybody for watching Tearing Up tonight. I could tell from a lot of people in the chat we're having a great time with this. And I think we're planning to do more Tearing It Up streams. So if you have any ideas of what we could tear up next, always let us know. And then until then, freaking Brad, do you have anything else?
Dude, that's it for now, man. I feel
All
good
right.
about it. My voice is deteriorating. If you guys have not been able to tell,
Yeah, mine too. But you know what? We've had such a blast, man. So we're freaking go ahead and close it out, and we'll just see you for Sunday for Christmas vacation.
Christmas vacation.
All right. Actually, before we end this stream, I need to go ahead and say a little prayer real quick. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. No, I'm just kidding. See you guys.